Hey everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about the investigation we did last night at Peggy's house. Hey Vicky, for the next 60 minutes, we're going to discuss some of our findings that we've did and some of the things that we used to get some information. We did do a little research last night when we was there about the address of the place, and the spirit box thing we was using actually gave us a number, and we actually looked it up, and it was really legit. It gave us the land, the pictures of the land all around the place where we was at. Hey there, off the hook, Ted. How you doing, buddy? Last night was really crazy. That was about one of the best investigations that we did in a pretty good while. We've been there quite a bit of times, and it never really gave us that much of different setup way we did last night. We got more deep in depth of an investigation, and we had some crazy stuff that's happened. Tonight we got Joseph's going to be coming on with me, and my cousin Shasta, and we're going to discuss some of the things that we found. So we got right here's Joseph now, and he will let you know some of the things that he has got when he was little, when he worked around there and everything like that. So hey there, bub. Just different things. So here's Joseph now. Hey, buddy. You're muted. Your camera's muted. There you go.
Quit laughing.
Amateur.
Shut up. Sorry, my brother's over here.
Right, but
with me tonight.
right.
I just may stick him in front of the camera before this is over with.
Yeah.
But once again, good evening, all you beautiful souls. I hope you guys are ready for a wonderful grift on tonight's crossover Paranormal Society live chat.
Unfortunately, I could shock everyone. I work for a.
All right. So tonight last night was at Peggy's house. Friday night we was on the same road, but we was at the bridge, and we actually got some crazy things at the bridge Friday night. But I think Saturday night was a big investigation.
I can go. I'll destroy the room.
Different house.
And I would destroy abandoned mud IKEA. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. You get that one. This one's mine. Oh no, let me jump it up.
You're forgetting. I have.
All right. So, where do we begin tonight?
Or
are we waiting on something?
No, we ain't waiting on that. We were just waiting on my cousin to get home. She's like 10 minutes out, so she can get back on.
Oh, that's cool.
But you remember when we went in and we first got our stuff set up, and then she cut that plasma box on, and
yes,
it started going real crazy right away.
Right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I couldn't believe it myself. I mean, when she turned that box on, it was on a whole new nother level. I can't wait till we post that up on Facebook. You guys aren't going to believe this. I mean, if this doesn't get us at least Netflix, it's going to get us on the Travel Channel. I mean, this is some next level stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Thor Road over Peggy's house, cabin over behind the falls, in front of the falls.
It was
the cabin.
It was pretty interesting, especially the part when we found out that somebody has been there that actually messed with the house, kicked that board down and tore up a few things. I think that's one reason that we had some good activity there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because you know me, I'm a trip at anything. You might as well call me klutzy because it don't take much for me to trip.
Yeah.
And when I started tripping out, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie. You can ask John as my witness, and even Shasta as soon as she gets on here. I started tripping out, fussing, cussing, all kinds of crazy stuff. And so you don't hear from my words. I want you to hear from Jonathan's words. When I came down them steps and started talking about that busted cup and them ripped up boards, what was the first thing it said onto that box?
It said one thing, told you to calm down.
He's not joking, ladies and gentlemen. He's not lying. It literally told me to calm down.
Yes.
And of course, once I started getting upset about it, is like, look, it's inevitable. In plain English. Like I said, I can't wait for you guys to get a chance to actually sit down and watch this video. If we ain't had a decent video before, this is going to be the mother lode of all videos. I mean, we couldn't believe it. We're still all in disbelief and mist.
I think that one thing really got us when we started getting into the history of the house and trying to find a little bit more about the land and stuff like that, and she typed in the address that was been there hadn't had a physical address in God knows how long.
Yeah,
and she typed
before any of our times.
Yeah, and you remember it popped
and
up.
Both of us are middle aged, so if that tells y'all anything.
It popped up the land and everything all the way around the whole property, the whole layout of the property. That was like, there ain't no other way else to explain that. It was, my cousin, when she gets on here, she can talk a little bit more about the investigation too. She knows a little bit more deep from that, but I do know that there was. I had the feeling that there's something there after 10 minutes we started, and it was totally different than what me and you and Daddy always goes over there to do.
Yeah, this was on a whole nother level.
Yes.
If they talk about the fog of Tir Nanog coming and going and the veils passing, last night, ladies and gentlemen, was one of the most exceptional front row seat kind of nights I think I've ever witnessed in my entire life. Yeah. Bear in mind what neighborhood I live in, how close I live to these places. I mean, I practically grew up around here, and never have I ever experienced anything quite this. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know, but I can't. I'm having loss of words too over cause of it.
Pardon me, y'all. I gotta beat my brother's head in for a second.
You win.
Anyway, I'm back. He's winning.
Yeah, it was actually I don't know. It was totally different because when the last time we was there, we just used a regular spirit box to SB7, and we always a lot of static was in that on the radio frequencies. But last night when we used what she had, it took out all the static and pretty much just gave us straight up answers. We didn't have to sit and wait. When we asked a question, it just came out automatically. And it was a second of delay or something like that.
If that.
Yeah, it's either a second or 2 seconds, something like that. I mean, it's really a cool thing. When she gets on, we will talk about it here in a little bit. We'll talk about some.
Yeah, I definitely want to give her a chance to be able to, let her give you the whole lowdown, I ain't going to lie. She looked out for the cookout last night. Always knew that your cousin Shasta, she's pretty good at this game, I've always known her. I mean, even from day one, not even really watching her, ever meeting her before.
Yeah.
Hey, Bootsy.
It was. I mean, it was like I don't know how to explain it. It was just like when we first walked into the door. It was when we was walking down through the woods. It wasn't that bad. Gotten into the door, it didn't feel that bad. But after the first 10 minutes of being in there, after we found out you found the board that somebody kicked from the backside out, and upstairs or something there had knocked that stuff out between them logs, that fell down.
That chinking dog.
I mean, yeah, it's just things like that really what made it actually feel that way.
I definitely have to agree on that one.
The spirits actually got angry with that, I think. And that's the reason why they told you to calm down, that they got it all figured out. And and didn't they say they took something with them?
Yes, they did. Ladies and gentlemen, rule number 1, or at least rule number 3, at least. Hold on a second. I know Friday night you caught something walking right by you and left and walked right up through the middle of the gate. I'm not positive, but I'm sure it looked like the spirit of a gray woman. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. All right, at least the top 3 number rules of whenever going on an investigation. If you find something and you don't even ask and you take it home, remember you're shoplifting. Oh, gray wolf.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It was
Wolf?
When I was at the. Hey there, David.
It was.
How you doing, buddy? It was. You remember when we was on Friday night when we was actually filming there at the gate, and I said there's something looked like there's something there that had like a mist come up to my side, and there's a mist up to the top.
You mean over the bridge?
Yeah, at the bridge. Well, I was filming at the gate.
Yeah, I saw it plain as day when I came home and I played that back. Uh-oh.
Yeah. She said, "Yeah,
they're in trouble."
It was actually
okay. So I'm not really much of a folklore expert or folklorist. Folklorist. Gray wolf in a lot of traditions, be it European or native, is usually a sign of an avenging skinwalker. I would rather play with spider or coyote before I play with wolf. Wolf only has one objective: eat.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was a little weird.
Pardon me. Guns?
I play with guns. I love to eat too.
We're talking about supernatural. What are you going to shoot something that's already dead?
I'll shoot that bitch with a buckshot of rocks off.
We can get this party started, John. Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, Saul?
Buckshot of rocks off.
Research. Hello. Yeah, like last night now, it really was different because I did hear a growl outside of the window or outside the fireplace. I think I had
every 2 seconds they kept warning us.
Yeah. Never a good sign if you ask me. Oh yeah.
Hey, Vicky.
Yeah, like I said though, it was when I heard that growl. That's when I think that's when I got pinched on my side. After I heard the growl, and after I got pinched, I heard the footsteps upstairs, up on second floor. But it's like it was standing right over top of my head on the second floor of the house. That was pretty crazy.
2 feet from the banisters, you walk upstairs.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I hope everyone doing well. Hey, buddy. Dwayne, I wished you was with us last night, buddy. That was a crazy house last night.
Yeah.
It was, like I say, there's something over there that we never caught before, and it actually had a mind of its own, and it told us on the box that there was something outside. My dad even went outside at the front of the door and shined his light around and trying to see if there's anybody standing there talking or walking, because there's actually somebody walking on the leaves. You can actually hear the leaves crumbling underneath their feet. And it wasn't like an animal, like a 4-legged animal. This was like 2 feet. That's
Like I said, a walker, a skinny.
Yeah.
I mean,
what
makes you wonder if that's who wants that. Hey, Skull Joe. Makes you wonder if that's who wants the that maple sugar.
Yeah. That was kind of creepy too, because if anybody would watch the video and watch the whole thing, at the last before we left, it said it said maple sugar, right?
Right.
Is that what it said?
Barked it loudly.
Loud, clear as day, just like we're sitting here talking right now. I mean, that was really, really strange how that came out across that thing.
And we've been doing this for a minute, so it takes a lot for us to jump out of our skin to do something like that. This one had us running chills down our spine. That almost next to never happens.
And my cousin, she was sitting on the steps right there, and she was getting some weird feelings just by sitting there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
But when she comes back on, we'll let her talk about what she thought.
Yeah.
She said she'll be back here in a few minutes. But
yeah. She's just heading towards the house. She's just getting in the house and getting situated, y'all. Yeah, just give her a couple minutes. Bear with us, two numb skulls, and don't worry, Shasta will be on.
Lucy says she'll run.
Yeah, that's what we did.
The wolf was walking away Friday night.
I don't believe it's a skinny.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it will be anything like that. I think it was just something that was trying to manifest itself. When we was at the bridge and we was at the gate, I did ask, hey, can you manifest yourself?
Well, see, even if it isn't a skinny, if it's just a protector, something like a guard dog, which in a lot of cultures it would be, you know what I mean? It's really not a manner of manifest. I'm not saying it isn't highly intelligent, but at the same time, it's probably not human, probably never was.
Yeah. You want to answer that? You want to answer that question, Joseph?
Okay. What is a skinwalker? So in different traditions in different parts of the world, it will have different names. So when you go out west, when you got the Lakotas, the Utes, the Paiutes, the Crow, they believe that it's usually a shaman or somebody who's dabbled too far into black magic. And they've gone to the point of no return, to the point that they've been brought in. Yeah, more like a witch, like he's saying. So what it is they're basically a shapeshifter. Yes, exactly. Like Skull G420 saying. They can shapeshift. She's seen a 4-legged movement.
Yeah, that's
so. What it is a skinwalker, aka a skinny, as they say out west.
APDX.
Hello. A skinwalker can change itself out. I don't know about legend. I've seen things out west, but you are right. It is a Native American legend. It's between several different nations. Remember. Okay, I get. Cool.
But yeah, it's just pretty much something that takes shape of a animal, I guess. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Same way with the Bell Witch.
Yeah. Yes, they can actually mimic humans.
Yeah.
They can shape their shift into whatever they need to be. They're shapeshifters.
Yeah. APDX. Yeah, it's like I say though, it was a different night. But what I'm thinking about, remember we do have the history of where they found the bodies on the road. I think some of that was some of
Mhm.
the spirits from them bodies was there in that house. I think that's where they are collecting that. It's not just only Peggy's house,
May have
but
been because
I think they move up there and just hang out there like it's their place to stay.
yeah.
Can you hear?
Shasta, what's
Hey,
up?
okay. It's been a long day.
Yeah,
So glad to be back to the house.
yeah. I hope y'all had a good
Thank
No,
you
trip.
you
once
have
again
no
for everything
idea.
from last night and all.
Sorry. I'm just, the adventure home was, let's just say it was an adventure. John, don't laugh at me. I love my mother. I love my mother. Can I say I love my mother? But sometimes when your mama wants something, say no.
Say no.
Say no.
Well, how's the old saying go? Mama wants, mama gets. Mama ain't happy. Ain't nobody gonna be
Yeah.
happy.
Hey, Vicky. Well, I told on the story earlier. I don't know how many are familiar with Major Graham Mansion, but we took a drive by Major Graham Mansion today just to go by and see it. And I've investigated Graham Mansion before, and Lord, I thought my trip in North Carolina was eventful, so it's only. So we go by Graham Mansion, and my mom spots this little creek, the little stream that runs down by there, and it's on the outside of the fence for their haunted house for the year. And she sees what most people would, our mountain folk would call watercress. Watercress. She loves watercress. Creek is full of watercress. Mom wants watercress. Okay, well, I'm going to try to get it. Mama, look.
It is.
I get some watercress. The rock was fine until the rock wasn't fine anymore. The next thing I know, the rock takes a tumble. Shasta takes a tumble. The next thing I know, I am sitting in the creek. Clothes fully submerged to my waist. Luckily, my shirt didn't get wet. I'm fully submerged in mud that's like 6 to 8 inches deep in this creek before it goes into the water. I mean, into the culvert under the road. And I'm like, well, while I'm in here, I might as well just pick the whole batch of watercress. So I get it all into a bag. My daughter's screaming at me from the bank. But the problem was I have to change my clothes. I can't get back in my car. Yes, this is called JG. It was an adventure. I can't get back in the car. I have to change my clothes. Thank God the traffic stopped long enough for me to change on the side of the road. I had watercress falling out of my pants. It's not funny. It's not funny.
It was funny. I saw it.
You're right, hon. It is not funny. It's not funny.
It's not.
Hilarious, maybe, but it's not funny.
It is funny.
Oh my God. I have never in my life. And I look down the street and there's this deer standing there looking at me while I'm trying to change my clothes. And I know that deer is just like, what in the hell is wrong with these stupid humans? I'm like, listen, my mama wanted it. That's I'm so late getting home, I fell in a creek. I should have known to leave it alone.
We're gonna talk about the equipment that we used last night, okay?
Oh, okay.
He said, "Who's caught in the headlights now?"
We'll talk about the. Yeah, whoever that is, now you can't make this up. Trust me.
Yeah,
that's why I'm late. So
that's
I'm
David
sorry.
Holt.
Who is it?
David Holt.
David, yeah, you can't make that. That's why I'm late, because I fell in a creek and I had to
It's
stop.
true. I was
That must
there.
be a southern thing.
Hold up, when you yes, it is. When you
Yeah.
said David Holt, you mean Klondike?
No, he's another paranormal investigator. He got his own team.
Yeah, watercress
Okay.
on a homemade biscuit is a southern thing. And I don't know. I don't normally. I mean, I'm hurting. I'm like, how am I going to explain going to the hospital, telling them that I went to look at a haunted house and I tried to get salad weeds out of a creek and I fell in it and broke my foot. I'm going to end up in the psych ward?
She is. She is.
Luckily, I think I'll mend, but you can't make this stuff up. So I apologize, guys. I'm late, but we'll talk about the equipment and the Phasma box. But I just thought y'all would like part of my adventure for the evening. Mama, I have had my swim, and the water was not warm at all. It had just rained like about 45 minutes before that, so it was running fast.
Yeah.
Stage section.
You want to tell about the equipment that you used last night, and the obvious box and all that stuff?
So
you can talk about the obvious box. You want
the obvious box? So we're going to test that. We're going to test it next time. We're going to take out the Phasma box and we're going to take out the obvious box, and we're going to see which one of them works better. Okay. You like that?
Yeah, I like that. Real good.
Did you like the concept of the obvious box that we sent you?
Yeah.
Bella helped me design that, so it's patent pending.
Yeah, we're gonna get it patented.
You're gonna make me laugh. I'm not even gonna be able to talk about the Phasma box. between the creek water and the tier water, I'm not gonna be able to say anything.
Well, you say, Doctor. What happened was we went hunting us a haint up in an old shabby cabin, old shotgun shack. And then we saw us some old water Cherokee creasy greens. And then I went to plumb slap in the water. And I fell in, and lo and behold, there's a dangest thing you ever did saw. Staring at me right down. I swear to God.
I rolled.
He's going to tie me up on his grill.
She rolled.
My daughter was standing up top, and I literally rolled down the hill into the water. I've never rolled down a hill before. I rolled down the hill. Anyway, so the Phasma box is what we were using last night. If anybody wanted to know what that was, it's basically an app that you download. And I had gotten the information for the Phasma box from a group that I had worked with from TV. They were at a location here close to us, and they were using something, and I'm like, what in the heck are you using? Because it's so clear. It wasn't like any of the other spirit boxes that we had used where it spits out, but you can't understand what it's called. So the Phasma box is what they were using then. And when I downloaded it, you just have to have a tablet or a computer that runs Windows, because I think it's a Windows-based program. Yeah. And I Bluetooth it to a speaker so I can hear it better. And then I put it on a tablet because it's easier for me to carry around. But it's been so accurate and so easy to understand. Yeah. And the way we were using it last night, I mean, it was picking up things that were so spot on. Like at the one point where we asked about,
the box wasn't that good. Don't touch my pumpkin. It's drying.
We were asking about the address. So that place hasn't had an address in a really long time.
Yeah.
So it actually spits out the address for that location. So when I Google the address on the Google Maps or Realtor site pops up, it shows me that place was for sale. It had closed, and it actually shows me pictures. Now, it didn't show me a picture of the house, but it showed me pictures of everything around it, the waterfall, the creek, the landmarks, everything, to distinguish that we were talking about the same property. So the address that I was getting actually came from the spirit box through the the Phasma box.
Yeah. I think it's
Well, I mean, that you figure they probably wouldn't show the house because one, it's condemned. So that means if you were to purchase this property, the county's going to make you tear that down right off the bat. So you're looking about $3,000 to $5,000 worth of sales spending right there.
No, they
Right.
won't make you tear it down. Actually, grandfathered in. What they'll do is they'll sell the house at no financial value.
Right. In that sense, it can't be used as a house. They have to sell it really as no financial value. They don't want to post it because you can fix it. It'd be condemned. And I mean, you could just look at this place. Like, even if you don't believe in ghosts and whatnot, looking at this old cabin, you'll believe.
If you got a historical restoration.
I was about to say the
permit on it,
historical.
Hey, how's it going, man?
You could
Yeah, I was
legally
about to say the
restore
same thing about the historical thing. If they showed the house, somebody's going to want to step in and start flying the historical card, and then they're going to stop them from selling the property if they show the house.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
once the historical society sees it, then they're going to slap something on it saying a historical site, and they're not going to let them sell it. So
Yeah.
that's probably
and
why
Yep.
there are no
it can
pictures
still
of
be
the house.
And that's the only way it can be restored is to be historically restored.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Yep.
like I said, I mean, it said that it wasn't an actual grist mill, but I'll send you the pictures later on. I think your cousin's actually got a few. You got a couple of those pictures, remember, in the daytime of the waterfall itself behind the house?
Yeah, there was. I
Like
think
what-
on that site, it actually showed the pictures of the waterfall. It showed pictures of some kind of like a rock bank or something on one side of the house, I think was out there. Like, it showed spots all around the house. That's how we were able to determine that the address that it gave us was accurate. It was weird. I mean,
Right.
I've never had it be that accurate before.
Right. See, on the top of that waterfall, that whole waterfall was cut out almost like a Q-bert type of deal. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
symmetrical. And that
Yeah.
retainer wall that's going up on the high side of it at the creek, you could tell is like a flat stone wall that was used as some kind of channeling device.
I
Yeah.
found
It
another
was for
one
the
just
water-
like
was
it
for the
today.
water wheel and the grist. There actually used to be a grist
Hold on.
mill there, and that was the water wheel that actually powered the grist mill back then in the late 17 and early 1800s.
Okay.
That's
Hold on, Jerry.
actually what I do.
I
You what,
actually
hon?
found another location today on my way home that used to be an old mill, and it has that same kind of waterfall. You can see how it was
Yeah.
carved and how the water drops, and it looks almost identical. But I'm going to send some pictures to you guys later. I don't want to send them on here because I don't know if I can get into it yet. But
Yeah.
this mill is 4 stories tall, maybe 5, and it has a walkway that connects to another building on the side. Then over behind it is a smaller building with 2 smokestacks.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
actually
then-
what I do for a living. I do historical and medical restoration for a living.
Hold on, Jerry.
This place is amazing, and the guy that owns it is the same guy that owns Graham's Mansion.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it. So I found 3 locations before I fell in the creek that we could potentially take a look at because they are gorgeous.
I even got photography of some of them.
Yeah, thank God she didn't get photography of me falling in the creek.
I wanted to. I was gonna bring the camera, but she said
Yeah.
no.
So,
Y'all could have had a picture
but
of that.
yeah, that
Thanks.
shush your muffins. Does anybody want a child? She's had too much chocolate.
Yeah.
For the record, I do not know where those chocolate peanut butter delight balls that she's jacked up on came from.
Yeah, no, we don't know where those came from, do we?
Not at all.
But
Hell, I mean,
what did you think about the house itself, Shasta? That from seeing us on us doing it on video, what do you think about it in person?
It seemed like a completely different house than what you guys were in. I mean, the house that you guys were in did not seem as terrifying as what we were in last night. Like the vibe was different last night.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like it took more of a darker vibe last night when we were in it, which was odd because when we first got there, there was just something off when we first got there. Like the vibe was different. And I don't know what changed the vibe. I don't know if that was adding me to the mix since it already knew you guys, or if it was just
or
something
me
else.
being stupid.
Well, there was something lurking outside. I don't think that was anything to do with it. I think what you were doing, you were upset because people were trying to tear up the building.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
And there was somebody that sympathized with you through the Phasma box saying, listen, just calm down. It's okay. We got this.
You
So
remember,
I think whoever is there, left there, is
Yeah.
making sure that whoever's tearing up that building is going to pay for what they did, because they're like, calm down. It's okay.
yeah.
We got this. And at one point they told you, it's okay. Calm down.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
And
That was their words too.
yeah, they knew what's going. They know what's going on. They know who it is. And whoever's messing, I feel really bad for them because it's going to get really nasty the next time they come in there.
Yeah.
They said, I mean, I don't know if they're telling me the tearing down of the house was inevitable or what they were about to face was inevitable.
Yeah.
But they had this, and what's next was going to be inevitable, whatever it was.
Exactly.
Didn't one of us
And I
ask
mean,
if did they follow them home or something, or did they them that if they took something from the house? Didn't it come out and say yes, they do, they are?
I think somebody asked, did they take something from the house? And I think it said yes. Now, I don't know what they would have taken.
Actually, that I do. There
on,
used
Jerry.
to be mantles around the fireplaces in the main living room that someone stole about 2 years ago.
No, they're talking about something recent. Hold on.
Yeah, I think everything. Yeah, whoever that is, they've been warned. I think they got more than warned. I'm pretty sure that something has gone home with them. I think it's made itself very clear, because it made itself very clear to us that it knows exactly what's going on in that house.
Yeah.
At one point, Joseph, you went
If you
down.
go back, they'll laugh at you.
At one point, Joseph went upstairs and found a piece of china. And I was like, okay, this is, I've never, like I said, I've never seen it that clear and that on point. You go upstairs and get the piece of china, and you can come downstairs and say, well, the piece of china that was upstairs is still here. And you say, well, where do you want me to put it? And the woman comes through the Phasma box and she says, in the kitchen.
In the cabinet.
And I didn't even
In the
know there was
cupboard.
a cabinet. Yeah, in the cupboard, in the kitchen. She said in the cupboard. And I'm like, I didn't even know there was a cupboard in there. And you said, okay, I'll put it in there. And I'm like, what's he gonna? I asked Pete, I said, what's he gonna put it in? He said, oh, there's a cupboard in there. Like there's no shelves left, but there's a cupboard in there. And I'm thinking, okay, this thing just told him where exactly to go put her china.
That's kind of cool.
So I mean, they're on point. At times, I think we were getting.
Well, she knows I'm going to listen to her. I always listen to her. I mean,
I think
I
some
may
of
be
the
hell on
people,
wheels, but
I think some of the people we're getting are randoms. They're just passing through. I think some of the people we were getting were some of the men that are still out there. Because if people say that they're not there, there are still some guys that are from down at the bridge.
Yeah.
I think some of those guys just roam.
I think that house is also one of the places where they all like stay at. They think that's like their safe house, you know.
Well, it's a place that they probably can see. I mean, you think about it, it's something that is old enough that they would be able to see.
Yeah.
It's something that is old as what
It's
some of
not
those people
sticking.
are.
Mom, it's not sticking to my
So it would be
pumpkin.
something that they would be able to see from their
you,
lifetime. So
Jermaine.
it would still be there all those years.
It's not sticking
I
to
see you in the morning at work, buddy.
That's okay. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah, it was actually something totally different. Like I mean, I can't say enough, but it was totally different house than what me and Joseph and Daddy's been there before. We've got weird feelings when we walked in, but it's not nothing like it was last night. Last night was something crazy.
Well, I mean, even when we got ready to leave, we said, "Are we okay if we leave?" No. We were told we would not be okay if we left. Whatever was there was trying to tell us not to go outside. But this was after we had seen light out the window beside the fireplace. We had seen a light outside, which, by the way, I confirmed.
We did not shine a light.
My mom and my daughter in the car hadn't even shined a light. They didn't have a light out and shining it towards the house. So the light that we were seeing coming from the car was not them.
Yeah.
Not us.
They were wondering, Joseph, why you came to the car and you thought you were going to the car because they were flashing the light for somebody to come out there. That wasn't them. They didn't have a flashlight.
Yeah.
So this is news to you because I found out on the way home.
Mama, can I show
They
you
weren't
my
flashing a light towards the house. They didn't have a flashlight to flash.
I want to show my pumpkin.
No,
Please.
no.
Yeah,
They didn't have a flashlight to flash.
Don't touch him.
when I was standing,
And we can rule out any kind of headlights or passing traffic because if anybody's been watching our shows lately, it's a one-lane dirt road, and you can hear a car coming half a mile before you even see the first headlight.
We saw the car.
Another vehicle or anything else. Right, but I'm saying at the time of that light. So to write it off or to say that it was a headlight or some kind of lamp that came off of a dirt bike or anything like that, there would have been nobody on that road because, one, if you came down that road, you'd be squeezing. You have to get down about 3 miles an hour to go around our trucks.
Right.
Around y'all's trucks, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you'd be at a dead crawl. Your mom's sitting there in the passenger seat. Your daughter's in the back seat right behind her. Oh, trust me, you wasn't going to slide past the both of them and not one of them there notice you.
Nope.
Yeah.
There was one car that passed, and we saw the car when it passed because we were looking out the door. There was one car that passed.
Yeah.
My daughter had moved up to the front seat. They had tried to call me, but my phone was off, so they decided not to bother calling back. They said they'd just tell me about it when I got to the car. Well, that's when I was talking about it felt like it was elemental, like a witch, but something from the earth, something that had been there a long time. Well, they were running a box in the car that had come up with the word witch on it. That's why they were trying to contact me. But I had already picked it up in the house, and they were getting it on their box in the car at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's when the light shined from outside, and we thought they were trying to signal us from the car.
We were.
But they didn't. They were seeing a light on the back of John's truck on the bumper, and they couldn't figure out. They thought we were shining the light on the bumper, but we didn't even have a flashlight that would shine that far.
We thought you guys
So we were looking
Yeah, because
outside.
we're about 40 yards back in the woods.
Yeah, so we were shining the light at the door because we kept hearing something moving around in the weeds at the door. And they said this light was actually moving across the bumper of his truck. So they never shined the light towards
It was.
us.
Well, remember that one time?
No, go ahead.
Sorry, ma'am. So remember that time, what was it, this past spring, when we went down the house and we saw the light in the window?
Yeah.
We didn't have our cameras up yet or nothing because we were still heading there. We didn't have anything on, so this ain't the first time that's happened. I've seen it in the attic before. This is long before I met y'all. Down over at the waterfall. Back when we used to have a rope to shimmy down on, we'd sit on them rocks and everything.
Yeah.
And also, you see it flicker. I just usually took it as a sign. Okay, time to go home.
Yeah. And see, that's what was happening. I mean, this light was all over the back of John's bumper. And they thought it was us. It wasn't us. And then they were shining the light. They thought we were shining the light out there, but we weren't. We were just right at the door. And then we thought they were shining the light back at us, but they weren't shining the light at all because they didn't have one.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the light come that way from towards the truck, but it was actually in the woods between us and the truck. And then John and I were standing there looking out that window, and there was a light above the tree limbs on the outside of the window by the fireplace. So there was 2 lights last night that we saw outside the house. And then there was the thing that said it's coming. Do you remember you said something about the
Somewhere coming from
waterfall?
Yeah.
And it said it's coming. And that's when we started seeing the lights outside the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was just, I don't know what all of that was, but it definitely was not them, because I found out later they didn't even have a light that would reach. They weren't shining the light.
Yeah. That was kind of creepy, because when I was first seeing it, because I was once mentioned it, I said, there's somebody shining a light out there. I think they wanting us for something there. I thought, because I thought it might have been the same thing like what Daddy seen come up into the window, you know, because that's the way Daddy contacted me, told me come over there. He's trying to flicker his flashlight at me, and just to let me know that there's something there. But when I got over there, he was like paper white.
Yeah,
that's what I thought, that maybe what happened to them, that they seen something just coming up into the window. So that was crazy.
Yeah, she said it was not them, and that goes back to, it doesn't even explain what was the light that was on your bumper.
Yeah.
Because she said there was a light moving around on your bumper. Now, the night before, when we were at the bridge, she saw a light at the edge of the fence.
The gate.
The gate right there. Okay. Yeah. Then you saw a light down over the edge of the bank, like it had come from the fence and was walking down the edge of the riverbank.
Yeah.
To go down along the creek.
Yeah.
And then it was just gone. So she saw the light first at the gate, and then you saw it when it went underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
So that, I don't doubt one bit that what's at the bridge, because it's not that far away.
No.
That what's at the bridge and whoever's left down there, I don't doubt that they travel all through there. Go on with that.
And see, just right back up from the bridge is the cemetery that we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was about not even 100, 200 yards away from the cemetery, if that.
Yeah.
And the house is probably about 300, 400 yards away from the bridge. So I think they all travel, and I think the house is more of their safe place where they stay at, where they know that's where they can go and chill out until somebody messes with something up around there.
Well, and like I said, you think about how old that house is, and you think back to how old these people are, how long they've been there. That house has been something there for as long as those people have been in the ground there. So it's something in every time period and every time frame, even if it's an overlap, it's been there. So they've been able to see it. It's something physical that they can see in whatever plane that they're on. And that's going to be, if you're stuck out in the woods and say somebody leaves you in a ditch somewhere and you get up and you've got to walk somewhere, you're going to start walking to see if you can find the nearest house.
Yeah.
Why would we think that if a spirit gets up and doesn't realize that he's dead, he takes off walking? Where's he going to go? To the nearest house. It just so happened that the people in the nearest house, they never left either. They're still in the nearest house. So
Yeah.
wouldn't
They
that
can
make
completely see him. They can completely hear him.
right?
There's
They're
no
on the same
difference.
plane as him.
Yeah.
Right. Just like we see and hear each other that plainly.
Right. I mean, I'm just thinking
I mean-
out loud, but I mean, this is my theory because if we do that, why would we think on the other side that it would be any different?
Yeah.
That would explain why we get so many voices on the Phasma box or the spirit boxes that we use when they don't make any sense to each other. I mean, they're not going to know these people, but yeah, they would go to their house to ask for help.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. It ain't coming up on my
Yeah, mine
phone.
either.
But
It's
yeah,
just a theory, but
I can't wait till we start using different equipment over there. You know, we got to get because I'm going to get us a REM pod. I'm definitely going to get us one of those.
when that
And-
works, it works really well.
Yeah, and I'm going to also get us an obvious box.
Well,
I'm
like,
gonna go get a patent. Sure enough.
We need an obvious
Well,
box.
I mean, to confirm what she was saying, I mean, like last night with her app, whatever she had.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
David.
Yeah.
I mean, not only could you hear them interacting with each other, you could hear them moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then-
I mean, you
it's
could
a-
actually hear the interaction.
Well, you could even hear the inflection, like the tone in their voice. Like some of them, you could
Mhm.
tell they were from different parts of places. Like the inflection in their voice sounded different.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
some
old
of
lady.
them
Then you have that
sounded
one
like-
woman. She sounded educated.
Yeah, some of them
I
sound
mean, I
like
wouldn't say.
they're super educated. Some sound like they're from the mountains. Some sound further south. Some have more of an accent. You're getting like the gamut of everything in there, and it's like, really? I
Yeah.
don't understand. And I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you where I got this Phasma box from. So I'm not just pulling it out of thin air, getting it from somebody that isn't out there. When I got the Phasma box, when I was told this is what I'm using, this is, something good to use, I actually got the Phasma box idea to use from Mike from Tennessee Wraith Chasers. So Mike and Chris were investigating, and I just happened to be investigating with Mike and Chris from the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. And I asked Mike what he was using. And that's what he happened to be using that night was the Phasma box.
Yeah.
And I mean, the evidence that he was collecting that night was so clear. We were working in an alcoholics area, and we had a bottle of alcohol there. It was unopened, but we had a bottle of alcohol. And in a dry room where it was a place where they were trying to get them to dry out. And I think they were given like not even a shot a day just to keep them from like completely going ballistic.
Yeah.
That's all they were given to dry out. So whenever you take in a trigger object like
Drunk
a bottle
tank.
of alcohol, it really got them wound up.
Yeah.
And that's where I started using the Phasma box. So that was something that came from Mike and Chris from the Tennessee Wraith Chasers.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot from them. They have some great techniques.
Yeah. So just on a different basis though, what was the thing that made you feel uneasy about the house, both of y'all?
You go first.
Ladies first.
Me? It's the
Yeah.
thing outside the house. It wasn't the house.
Yeah.
Everything in the house is, I'm going to be very upset with you. Stop. Isabella,
I want to be part of this.
you don't need to. I'll be so glad when she goes to sleep.
I ain't going to sleep. You
Do y'all
ain't
want a
gonna
child?
get to be black.
For me, it was what was outside the house. It wasn't what was inside the house. what was inside the house just wanted to communicate. I honestly do think they were just trying to communicate. They were trying to protect what was left of what they have. I think they understood that people were trying to take down what they have. And I'm sure they were uneasy about new people coming into their space because they don't know what I'm going to do to their space. I mean, they know you guys, but they didn't know me. What was on the outside of the house made me more nervous.
Yeah.
Because what's on the outside of the house shouldn't be there. It's been there way too long. I don't know if there's a way to get rid of it, but what's on the outside is way worse than what's on the inside of the house.
Yeah. What about
the man upstairs was a little grumpy, but I
Yeah.
think he was a little grumpy because he had a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's exactly what I thought about too. Whatever was upstairs, he didn't want to come down because he was stomping. He was stomping right above my head because I could feel him hitting. And did you feel the ground shake?
Something hit the floor. It made the whole floor vibrate.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck that was.
I think I jumped up probably like an inch off the floor when it hit, whatever it was.
I'm sitting there looking at you. I'm looking at your dad. You were outside. You had to walk to the car. That was when you left the house and went to the car. Something hit the floor so hard that the whole living room and the whatever room was behind that, the whole floor just vibrated. And we heard it hit. I'm like, what in the heck? But you could feel the floor just vibrate when it hit.
Yeah.
And to make it worse, half of that floor and its floor joists, if you notice those round heaps on the floor, are already touching the ground at one side.
Yeah.
None of that wood has enough tension or, that baseball bat-like quality to send a vibration off just for the little slightest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either half punky wood, the other half's done mulched.
Yeah.
So, I mean whatever was going through was going straight to the boards.
Yeah. This was like the floor is on the ground. I mean, it's wobbly, but you can tell that it's on the ground. But whatever this was, you heard it hit.
And you saw.
And when it hit, it vibrated the whole floor. And there was nothing that fell. I mean, we looked around where we were standing and nothing fell. It was just like something slammed the floor and the whole floor shook.
Yeah.
But nothing hit the floor.
And nothing went off upstairs because when I went back up there a little later on to grab that, what was that box called again? The new one that you like?
Oh, the REM pod.
Yeah, when I went up to get the REM pod. I think what it was when they took, because when I went upstairs, they not only tore that corrugated metal off of the old stovepipe that warmed up the upstairs.
Yeah.
It looks like they took those 1x14 planks. Like, I mean, they don't even. I can't even get. Hold up. About like, nope, that wide.
Yeah.
I mean, no, twice as wide as this, but that's as far as I can get with my hands.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you use for scaffolding. This has commercial use. And it's naturally basically been petrified. They tore one up completely. I think one's missing that wasn't already missing because originally there was one. But now there's a hole going a whole strip. So it looks like they got another one. And it looks like they were in the middle of trying to bust up the other three. Yeah. And they just stopped cold in their tracks. I think that they knocked out the metal. By the way, it was bent, slid out one of those planks and just yeeted it out the window so they could load it up into the truck. They got another one successfully loose. One was propped up against the wall, about to go get sent next. It was slung up flat against the wall. You know what I mean? It wasn't laying on the ground. They already had this kicked and propped up. So, and of course, you and I both know that wasn't there. We can go back into videos and watch it. Okay. There's nothing, before the last time we were there. So this had been recent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not only they pull it, they had it kind of like over in the caddy corner. And you could tell where they tried knocking the nails out. Yeah. The next one was taken about completely out. It was shoved to the side. And the third one, it looked like they got almost to the window and stopped. They left a perfectly good quarter plank is about the only way I know how to say it, because you got to remember in these days they weren't cutting just 2x4s and 1x7s, whatever the standardized wood we have now today. Like you and I noticed it was in the kitchen, right? The way they was using that fro to hand hew those logs. A lot of that was old grit. All that was old saw band mills. A lot of it was cut at home. They just run it flat through, started with a log and keep turning on the side. What you got was what you got. And since that's evidently a lot of old growth, judging by the rings inside of the log where you can see, this was a first cut. This wasn't a second growth. This was done off a virgin first growth. So that not only indicates its age, but it indicates what kind of quality wood this would be as well. I mean, you think about it, as long as that floor part has been laying on the ground, had this been normalized wood, dude, that'd been gone years ago. But like, so these cuts are not only sturdy, they're petrified, they're naturally treated. They're also literally next to impossible to find. There are no more sawmills. You got Hall over here in Pinnacle. Nobody screws with him no more. Land and Leisure's gone. Love is gone. Timberline's gone. Sorry, our family. Hold on. Our family does lumber. So anyway, these things are darn invaluable. It's to the point where if I was stupid enough to go in there and try it on this one, I'm sorry. I mean, I've been here for so long. I'm not tearing that house up. You saw. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I am staring into the flame a little too hard on this one. But I've come to know and love this place. You know what I mean?
That's one of my favorite places of Gates.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a Stockholm. Like, this is like down home memories for me.
I have a sneaky feeling, I have a sneaky feeling that when they were up in there trying to take some of that out, that the reason why they didn't get the rest of what they wanted out was because they ran into something that kind of spooked them up. And that's why they didn't finish the job when they were in there.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering which one it was. Which William it was.
Upstairs.
I'm sorry. I mean, because if Thor can move, was it William N or William K? Either one. It was there when they were alive. I'm sure it's there. They know. I'd hate to have one of them get mad and come down off that hill.
See,
I'm sorry, 12th Cavalry, and he's got nothing to lose. What are you going to do, kill him? He's already dead.
There's see, to me, the first part of that house is where we were staying at. That was the original part of the house. The kitchen area and the area where off to our back behind us, that was the add-on. So pretty much it was just a one-room cabin and upstairs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just add on. So that takes it back, probably back when Thor and them, when William and all them was alive. You know what I mean? So me, I think that add-on was pretty much a whole lot later than what it was.
Well, my brother's saying the original was 1780 something.
1786. I've been trying to get my hands on that home for years to restore it. That's what I do, is historic restoration and medical restoration.
But
I think they're not. I don't know if that crew that was in there that's trying to take it out. One, I'm not sure that they're an actual crew. I think they're a bunch of misfits trying to do something. And I don't think that bunch of people are going to go back trying to pull much of anything if they have any sense. Because I pretty much have. I feel that when they were in there trying to take it out, the reason why they didn't take it all at one time, because they had the means to take it up.
Yeah.
I'm a licensed professional. That's not professional what they done.
This room is at the time just one room. The problem with them taking all of it at one time is the fact that they got interrupted by something they couldn't explain. And I have a feeling.
See, what keeps one in keeps one out. Remember.
That was upstairs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember last night, they're scared to death of everybody inside, scared to death of what was outside. They didn't like it in their bit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what keeps one in keeps one out. It's kind of like you said, a wolf, a protecting dog. They got something that's going to keep them in and keep them out from off the top of these roads where the living's at, and it ain't going to let them out of that holler. But at the same time, if you notice, no one lives there. No one's going in either. Right. Now, we gone in, of course, They've seen John a few times. They got to meet you, like you said. They're a little auspicious.
Sorry.
Me, I'm about to throw a down home temper tantrum because they messed up Mama's cabin, and she got to get on my hind end like a 9-year-old. And she calmed me the heck down.
She did scold you.
She did.
Right
She
there
knows
for
she can get
everybody to
away with it
see.
too.
Calm yourself
She doesn't
down.
hesitate.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never
Yes.
seen
And
anybody
you notice I
scolded
fell
from
right
the
in
other
like I
side
was listening to
before.
a human.
Yeah, it was
You were
crazy
I
how
mean,
You
she
were
does have a way of
scolded
calming me
by a
down.
tablet, man.
yeah. Yeah. Well, see, that thing does prove it works. You remember we used that last investigation on that private investigation we did, you remember?
Yep. Yes.
And
Mhm.
it said watch my dad.
Yep.
And that night I rushed him to the hospital.
Yep. It warned you that night too. It said you needed to watch him, and that very night you had to rush him to the hospital. I don't understand it. I don't try to understand it. I just go based on one, what I feel, and two, what answers I'm getting out of there. And sometimes it's like a puzzle. You got to put
Yeah.
the puzzle pieces together because you're getting different people talking,
Yeah.
and you don't know if they're all talking about the same thing. But in the case last night, a lot of it was leading. One thing was leading to the next, and I mean, they were really trying to tell us, what's the address? They gave me an address. Is it safe to go outside? No, it's not safe for you to go to the car.
Yeah.
And then we got another issue that came up, and then we're like, well, we don't have a choice. We got to go to the car. Then we had, a kid come through and talk.
What about that really squeaky sound that came through that like
the scream? Now that's when I said
screaming,
something. Yeah, that the scream. I said that's something that's like that was what I associated with the witch thing, the whatever is from the earth. And that's when you said is something coming from the creek. And then it said it's coming. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yep.
So it tried to warn us that this thing's coming. So they were trying to tell us that it was coming to start with. And that's when we started seeing the lights outside.
And that's what made me keep looking outside at the window because I was waiting because I had that big light facing towards the window a little bit. And when I looked out there, all I was thinking about was seeing a black-eyed children standing out there looking at me.
Oh, this is way worse. What's out there is way worse than a black-eyed child.
Yeah,
Give me a black-eyed child.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, Bootsy, we were thinking about running there at one point, but I can't run too good over them weeds.
Yeah, I was.
Baby girl.
Yes, go get me some water.
It was kind of scary. What do you think about different, Joseph, of the house than what me and you and Daddy went to investigate? I mean, what made you feel more different about it?
I have to say a lot. I mean, I was coming down, and yes, I did get. She ain't lying. I got scolded by a tablet, ladies and gentlemen. That is 100% the truth. You wait till the video posts up. You'll see it. But like I said before, I mean, like I said, they kind of like on odds with her, right? And they was kind of, measuring her up. They kind of participate with, some too. You're a little more comfortable. Me, she's getting on my hind end like she's my grandma. Why? Simple. I all but basically grew up there. You know what I mean? As I was saying before. Yeah. So I always knew what kind of energy was there. And I'm not going to lie, every once in a while, sometimes you need a little quiet time out somewhere, blow some steam, smoke a blunt, think about what you're going through, and just pull your head together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It may not be grandma's house, but it's grandma's back porch step. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Your own little fort. So being there, I mean, watching me come up after all those years is, my main thing is, like I said, I mean, when I saw that what happened, to the house, and I about flipped. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute. I mean, I did calm down, yes, but it took me a while to, you know what I mean, start just trying to change my pace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to blow the rest of the steam out, because you know, I mean, it
Hey there, bud. Yeah, it was.
kind of dug. I mean, when
It was.
I asked her where to put that thing at. You know, she gave me a
Yeah.
straight answer like that. Why? Because this is not the first time.
Yeah.
And before let's just say I don't need a box. I didn't have a box. She just straight up tells me.
Like the energy a lot different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What do you?
I always knew she had guests. She's never said no. You got that one guy like in the last couple videos. He's kind of laid back sounding.
Yeah.
But what really got me, after I got calmed down over that, we started looking at that Sally's thing. You know, kind of put me one step closer. But I'm really thinking, like what you said, after we've heard with that new app, we could hear them interacting. We could hear them talking to each other, sound like they're talking in different layers, whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
they're just basically congregating or something, you know?
Yeah.
Hanging out, riding out, or like some kind of rainstorm or something. Killing
Yep.
time. And like you said, with the varying dialects, you know? So caveat, yes, I'm a history nerd. No, I am not linguistic ethnologist, okay? I don't have anywhere close to that many credits for it. But each dialect, especially in the U.S., is a constant evolution.
Right.
We started off sounding something more probably like from Southern England, more of a Cockney sound, just by our language and some of our words. Crossed over with the Irish cadence and bounces and twangs and, you know, graduation. So at first it starts off English, and then when it gets to its antebellum phase, that Gone with the Wind, that hoity sound, you know what I mean? They're overly educated. People don't realize up until about Reconstruction, hold on. We were the New York. We were the Massachusetts. We were the Pennsylvania, was the California of the U.S.
Mhm.
We had more universities, colleges, military traditions, private schools than anywhere up north. Ah, crap. Hold on. I got to plug this in, Jerry. Give me a cord. Hey, hold on. I got to plug this back in. I'll be right back. Son of a gun.
While he's plugging in, you have to remember at one point we had somebody that came through the Phasma box, and it actually they had like it sounded like a British or something close to a British accent at
Yeah.
one point. There was and he sounded like a younger gentleman that
Yeah.
came through with a very proper British accent, and you're thinking, okay, well, he sounds really out of place compared to what we've been hearing for the last 15 or 20 minutes. And he would pop in every once in a while and say something. And it was
Yeah.
a very, very British accent. And you're thinking, well, how does he fit into the story? Because he don't sound like anybody else.
Yeah.
And then you would have some that just didn't sound like you can understand anything they were saying. You could tell it
Yeah.
sounded like English, but it didn't sound like any English that we would speak.
Yeah.
It had some kind of slang to it in a way that they were speaking that it didn't make sense.
Yeah. The answer, the what Vicky said a while ago, sound like to her it was different energy. Yeah. It was totally different than what me and Joseph and Daddy has been there before. Totally different.
Yeah, it for my first time, I don't know what the energy was like before. Excuse me, but it was definitely the vibe was like the hair standing on end as soon as you step out of the vehicle to go into the woods.
Yeah.
Hair immediately on end, and you like knew something was going to happen
Yeah.
as soon as you stepped out of the cars. Like you could feel it. And when you stepped in, it wasn't like it was a negative feeling because, like, I didn't get negative from anybody in there, but you could tell people weren't happy.
Yeah.
Like, you could feel that they were upset about something. But that's when we started noticing that walls had been kicked in, boards had been torn down, the floor upstairs had been torn up. I mean, things that if I came into your house and I tore your house up, I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be mad at me if I came in and ripped your house apart.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're bringing somebody new in.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break, play the P3 video, and so I can get some drink and give Joseph time to come back. And after he comes back, we'll talk a few more minutes, and I'm going to have to get on getting to bed and everything for work.
Yeah, I still gotta go cook dinner.
Okay, let's play this and give him a few more minutes, get back, and then we'll go ahead and quit. Okay.
Sounds good.
I appreciate
Yes,
you coming.
Vicky, the spirits were worked up. I think Joseph might have worked him up a little bit too when he came in. Bless his heart. He was as upset about the house being torn up as the spirits were, let me tell you. Because we just let him have the floor and rant for the first 10, 15 minutes. We're like, there's nothing we can do. We're going to let him go, and he'll get it out of his system. And I think the spirits were probably fussing as much as he was. So we're just like, it's okay. Then we brought him back, and then Mama decided enough is enough. And I will tell you, she honestly told him, calm down, just calm down. It'll be okay. And I've never had anybody in all my spirit box sessions. I have never had anybody be called out and told to calm down by a tablet and a phasma box.
Yeah.
So it was a good time.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break right quick, and someone get some drink, and then we'll come back. Maybe he'll be back by the time the 2 videos is off.
Big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive. You know how we do. Big up to this crew. From day one till it's done, do or die, me and you. Big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive. You know how we do. Big up to this crew. Got props non-stop and mad love for you.
Rising up like the moon, elevating the mood, uplifting attitudes, cause that's what we choose to do. And I don't know about you, but there's enough negativity going around with plenty room to improve. Yeah, sometimes we collide with stress and negativity. We always let it slide. It's an elevated vibe, so fly. We touch the sky every time we ride.
Big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive. You know how we do. Big up to this crew. From day one till it's done, do or die, me and you. Big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive. You know how we do. Big up to this crew. Got props non-stop and mad love for you.
Now roll back time, tell me what you find. You're gonna see the same sucker MCs on the sidelines. In the fourth quarter when it's do or die time. That's when this crew is inclined to go prime time. From day one straight till it's done. But you all know full well that we only just begun.
Yeah.
We stick together, one for all for one. When it gets heavy, no, we don't cut and run. Crazy thinking about the places that we've been. Now I could tell you stories that'll make your head spin. But like I said, straight, thick or thin, there's so many memories giving me silly grins. So please allow me to introduce to you my one and only homies. Yo, I love this crew. So please allow me to introduce to you my one and only homies. Yo, I love this crew.
Big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive. You know how we do. Big up to this crew. From day one till it's done.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. So I saw the commercial. I want to ask you a question. I saw the commercial for the global ghost hunt, May of next year and October of next year.
Yeah.
So what are we like doing something special for that, or do we know, or
No, that's from Brian John Laverty. That's his. I'm just help supporting and showing it every time.
right?
So but
we can. It's gonna be.
We can, as a group, we can register to join it, but I ain't gonna be able to get to do it. Not next year. But
maybe.
I'm trying to.
Hey, Matt.
I'm trying to get a few things done to help out with them with it. What's up, everybody? Hey, brother. Hey, Shasta. Matt, paranormal consultant. Okay, hey, buddy. Joseph was on here, but I don't know if he's going to come back or not. But I'm really going to have to get off here in a few minutes. So just to.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Jonathan, I thought we were doing the battleship for the global ghost hunt. Oh yeah, man. I still yet got to finish getting that worked out too.
Were we going to do it in May, or were we going to do it in October?
I think in May.
Okay, I thought you were going to go somewhere in October. So
yeah, I got to go. I'm going on a trip in October, so I can't do it in October.
Yeah, because I thought we were talking. That's why I asked you, because I thought we were talking about doing something and setting something up.
Yeah.
And doing the battleship.
Yeah, now, I got a lot of stuff I got to go through to get to do the battleship this time. I got to set up all the meetings because me and Matt's supposed to be meeting with the lady through a phone thing.
Well, and I will throw this out there. If you guys are interested, you may want to check. I know we've done the one there in North Carolina. There's also one that it's allowing overnights in Virginia, in Norfolk. And it's a battleship. I can't remember the name of the one that's here, but they're doing overnights on the battleship.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's an option that we may want to look into. I don't know for this, but for an investigation.
I've already got some of the stuff down
set
for
up
the
with
battleship.
her. Yeah.
So I still got to go back and through and get a recap and get the prices and stuff like that for that. So.
Oh, I'm excited. I'll go either. Yeah, I'm like Matt. I'll go either one. It don't matter to me. But definitely want to set something up because I would love to get back in there.
Yeah. We're gonna try to get going again here next week or so. I've been out of it. I've been working extras and stuff like that, and hadn't had a chance to do much. But I'm still trying to figure out what all that she wants us to do. Because we got to sign a paper, and whoever's going to put on the big event, like Matt wants to do, they have a whole different set to fill out. You know what I mean?
How big of an event are we talking?
I don't know. I think he was talking about he wants to do an event like charge have people come out and charge them for an investigation, and then give them some of the money, and we take the money, set up booths, have like a shindig, have a couple food booths, or have a couple booths that were sets up our merchandise and paranormal consultant stuff, and whoever else is going to be there have a little booth set up and sell their
maybe a guest investigator. Matt,
I don't know. You just have to talk to him about that. I don't know what all he's got planned for it. So
You still on here?
yeah, he's in here somewhere. He's lurking around.
I'm thinking maybe a guest investigator. I might know some people. Yeah. See, I may know some people. Maybe. Yeah, I may know some people. Maybe we could get as a guest investigator, like somebody from TV guest investigator. My 9-year-old has more friends than I do. Yeah, yeah, we'll have to touch base. I'll reach out to a couple of people and see what they would be willing to do, if they'd be willing to work with us. If you would be interested in a guest investigator, because it would definitely pull in more money. And we can make it a big event. I mean, we could hold a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
Because it would be awesome to be able to get back and set up a booth and, for the two teams and that kind of thing. And yeah, it would be great.
Yeah. I will try to get in touch with her on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Because it'll be 2 days I'll be off, but I think Thursday I got my infusion treatment, so I'll be a little late doing that. So
I got was that after our Peer Unity Day, and tomorrow and Tuesday I'll be starting to plan it. Okay. Yeah, we'll get together and I'll reach out to a couple of her friends and see what they're doing and see if they'd be willing to work with us, since she seems to have the power of the people. You know how she is, but we'll see who I can reach out to. And there's a lot of people that live down that way that are closer to the battleship.
Yeah.
That are within just a day's drive or a couple hours drive, not a day's drive, but a couple hour drive. And maybe we can find somebody that'll come out and hang out with us. So we'll see what we can do. We may be able to pull out one hell of an event.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I say though, I've been busy and it's just hard for me to get all caught up.
Oh, I know. And like I said, if you ever need me, let me know. I will help you do whatever I can.
All right, he's back.
Oh man, we found him.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. I was getting ready to send you a message.
It takes a while because it's an old piece of crap.
I
got like a 7-8-year-old tablet.
No. First prize can't be a Steelers hat. What's wrong with you?
It's got to be one of these.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know much about that sport, but I know it's not the Steelers.
No, it's the Cowboys. Come on. Come on, Matt. I'm going to get you trained yet.
Daggone it, y'all. Can't we just raffle off a Coach purse or something? What's wrong with you men?
Real Cowboys root for the orange pony, son.
No.
Boys root for the orange pony. Don't get it twisted.
Us women don't want a hat. We
Denver
want
Broncos.
a Coach purse.
That's right, Broncos. I said it.
He said he's gonna rig it for me to win it. No.
Going to hell for that.
Vicky says the Chiefs.
Vicky, what are you doing? Don't tell him the Chiefs. You got to go with a Coach purse. Us women got to stick together, Vicky. What the heck do we need a hat for? Bootsy. I'm just way out here. I'm lost. I'm the only one that wants a handbag.
You said because you're betting on the wrong pony. You got to bet on the Broncos, honey.
Oh, now I'm out for you.
one that wants a handbag. Everybody else is trying to fight over a team.
Yeah.
I don't even wear a hat. We got to talk about this grand prize, Matt.
but yeah, I'm
Only
going to
if
have
the hat
to.
comes with matching mittens.
Y'all need to stop living the past.
It can always be worse. I mean, come on. I'm in the state where they changed from what the Washington Redskins to what are they now? I don't even know what our team's name is anymore. We don't even have a name, do we?
No, y'all don't even have a
You're the
football team.
Commonwealth. Y'all don't even got a team. That's
I was gonna
Washington,
say,
D.C.
we went from the Washington Redskins because they didn't like the fact that we were Indians, and now we're just nothing.
Now there's an understatement.
Could have said Baltimore. That's the most worst. That's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, but their team has a name, doesn't it? We don't even have a name for our team, Matt.
How about wear something different?
Yeah, they do. It's something PC as hell now.
I think it's the Washington something. With the pigeons. Yeah, it's probably the pigeons. I got a story about the pigeons and a spirit box. Oh my God, that's a story for another day, Matt.
Yeah. Well, y'all, I hate to say it, but we're gonna have to get off of here. But next time, y'all, our audience tonight, we will be having some different equipment with us next time. It might not be the same thing that Shasta's got, because me and Daddy and Joseph will be doing a lot of investigating until they get to come back out and investigate with us. But you are coming to the clinic with us, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This as long as I stay out of the creeks.
Just make it a between team hat and a coach purse.
There you go. I like the way you think, Vicky.
Baltimore Pigeons and Washington.
That's about right.
But
that's about right, Matt. And I love the way you think, Vicky.
But yeah,
it doesn't even have to be coach. It can be like it can be, what do they call it? A bootleg coach. I'll be okay with bootleg too, as long as it's pretty. I want the purse too, Bootsy. Come on. Forget that hat. I ain't going to be able to carry anything in a hat. How am I going to put my cell phone in a hat? I can't even store my REM pod and my K2 in a hat. I can at least put it in my coach purse.
You too, Matt, buddy. You take care and have a good night at work, man.
Yeah, but see, if you got a cell phone, you put it in your hat, you can ford a creek and you got both hands free so you don't fall over.
Yeah, you can.
And it holds that cell phone right in place.
There any more creeks, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But with that coach purse, I can stash all my stuff in it. I want to see you put dowsing rods, a K2, a REM pod, and a Phasma box into your hat. I can put it in my coach purse.
I can see you put the obvious box in anything.
An obvious.
I would like to see you do that.
I said.
I'm sorry, but that's gonna be kind of hard.
The obvious box does not fit in anything.
And I know you're gonna have to carry the daggone owner's manual, because we
owner's manual is long gone, buddy. It's long gone.
We ain't gonna know how to use it.
You're gonna have to explain to him the difference between an obvious box and the Phasma box.
I will when.
Ow!
When
Ow!
Funny.
Shasta needs a person.
You know what? Thank God today, Vicky, I was traveling and had my backpack of clothes coming home. Because if not, I'd have been in a world of hurt trying to drive like 2 hours home with those clothes on. There's so much mud in my shoes right now. They're laying on the back of the truck. I'm like, I can't sit like this for 2 hours to get to my house. Oh, gosh.
What are you going to do when you go mudding?
I ain't going mudding, daggone it. Forget it.
What part of Virginia you say you was from?
I'm from the country, but I ain't going mudding and I ain't playing in the creek no more.
Lie. You'll be back. It's in your blood. You got creek water in your blood.
No, that's not where the creek water was. Thank you very much. It was everywhere but in my blood.
But yeah, everybody, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. So I appreciate everybody joining in, but next time we will try to have some different types of equipment. I'm gonna try to sweet talk Shasta in and getting us the obvious box if she will.
You can have it, daggone it, I tell you. If you can make it work, you can have it.
And
you can have it.
Hey, I want that app you were using.
Which one? The obvious box or the Phasma box?
Phasma box.
Which one were you able to actually hear them moving around, standing up, talking amongst each other? I mean,
the Phasma box is what I had with me. The obvious box is what was talking.
Okay, so we get both of them.
You can have the obvious box. It's free.
I'll have to tell you the inside story on that. Okay.
Okay.
The obvious box is free.
Yeah.
The obvious box is free, huh?
Free.
Yeah. But
the Phasma box, you have to have a Windows tablet, because I don't think you were on here when I was explaining it. The Phasma box is a Windows tablet or a Windows computer. It's easier with the tablet because it's more portable. And then it's an app that you can download. And I want to see it somewhere. When I got it, it was somewhere between $15 and $20. It may have come down since then. But you just go into the app store, download it onto the tablet, and then you just run it. And then I use a Bluetooth speaker so that I can boost the sound, because it sounds not as good on the tablet. And that way it comes through clearer. But you have different options on there, I think, to like do a reverb, like you can take out the vibration or whatever. I don't play with a lot of the buttons that's on it, because the setting when it comes on is what you need to run it. But you just have to make sure that you're getting a Windows tablet, because if not, it won't run.
Right. Well, see, I've always been like the biggest critic of like reverb and any kind of white noise anyways. You know what I mean? I do understand why. I'm not going to go into whole criticism about it, you know. Yeah. But we know it has its aesthetic, proponents. It has its use.
Right.
Especially, the big times. But I like that one because of simple clarity. Like I said before it cut out, to be able to hear that kind of like transition. I mean, okay, so the furthest back I've ever heard of a regional accent from this area was one of the an old Civil War vet, one of the first ones to ever have his voice recorded, and you can actually hear the prebellum education to it. Then you go into the parabellum, and then you go into antebellum, then into parabellum during Reconstruction era. Then you hear the whole de-evolution, where it breaks down into, like you were saying, a mama hit kind of sound, a backwoods sound, because the destruction of the educational infrastructure, and the lack of teachers, lack of parents, and everything like that. I mean, for what it's worth, basically our region of the U.S. went into a dark age. We didn't have that kind of industry or plantation out here, either one, really, to get us back on our feet. I mean, basically, the Union Army used us as toilet paper for about 40, 50 years.
But in that Phasma box session, you heard all of that. You heard layers of every one of those. So the inflection was in so many different voices came through with that, with different inflections, different like not languages, but different like tones to their voice and different basic inflections
Cadences.
showing like their time frame where they came from.
Right. Well,
And
yeah,
that's
being the same dialect,
unreal.
but it's like the different cadences that came with it. You could
Yeah.
almost hear the transition going from the ups and like the downs.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, with like regional dialects like that, it starts off as one. Then like I said, you've got a lot of Irish and you got the Scottish influences and the cadences and the inflections inside of our phenolics. Tomato, tomato, or they say tomato. Okay, you know what I mean?
And they were talking over each other though. I mean, they were like
Mm-hmm.
they were coming in and talking here, and then you had this one would come in there. There was one guy that, like I was telling John, he even had like a British accent, and he was talking in there, but he sounded like a young, newer, deceased young guy with a British accent. So I don't know. I mean, it was just like they were all mixed together, and that box really does like filter them out. I mean, and it's so clear. It doesn't have all that stuff in behind.
Right. Well, from the 1780s, probably all the way up to about on the 1830s, 1840s, before we developed into our own kind of like sound. A lot of the actual voices, just by reading, even almost does have like a high English sound.
Yep.
Because of our agrarian based infrastructure, of most of your universities, your old ones, VMI, well, not MCV, but the other one outside of Richmond. What's those Ivy Leagues? Wake Forest, Duke, all of them. I mean, the North had Harvard and one in Pennsylvania. So it almost had a high English sound to it, But like you said, it kind of had a newer because of the way he was talking, just kind of like a slanged out of it. But a lot of it would sound like that. Good night.
Everybody have a blessed night. See you. Yeah, we're gonna have to get off here, y'all. I gotta get in bed and go to work in the morning.
Yep.
But I appreciate y'all coming on tonight to talk about last night. Last night was a different setting of the house. It kind of put a whole nother meaning. I can't wait to go back to see how different it is since to get a different feeling of the house next time. But next time y'all come, Shasta, if y'all want to, we can go back there if you want to. Plan it to go there.
And the next time we come, I'm going to bring another piece of equipment, which I did not break out this time. The next time I come, I actually have, it used to be for my phone, but I have a thermal camera that was for my phone. And I bought a tablet because the thermal image was too small for my phone. I couldn't see anything because it was this big. So I bought a tablet and a connector and turned an image that was supposed to be 5.5 to 7 inches. And I turned it into a 10-inch tablet. So I now have a 10-inch thermal camera, which I created with my little thermal camera that fit in my phone. So we didn't break that out, which we can use because it sees amazing. And we'll get that out and take it through there and see what we see. We'll take it outside and see if we can find anything outside. Because we didn't try that. We didn't use it, and it'll be good down by the bridge. So next time we come out, I want to do a quiet, like all lights out, no equipment, plain EVP session for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just to see if we can get anybody to talk to us. Then break into the Phasma box, see what we can get from there, because we haven't tried it there. And then I want to break out the thermal and see what we can pick up on the thermal, like the big thermal, and see if we can get any hits down by the bridge too. Because I think there's more down there than meets the eye. I think there's something left behind.
Real quick, I got a dumb question for you. Okay, on your little tablet with that program that you have, you said you had it to a Bluetooth speaker, correct? Could you do it to like a Bluetooth remote, like something like this, that we could actually kind of slide it in the door and kind of even like step back like towards like the truck or something like that back at the road and kind of like do like an eavesdrop?
Anything that's Bluetooth, you can hook it to. That thing will tap into anything that's Bluetooth as long as it's in range. You can tap it to anything that's Bluetooth.
Yeah, usually 30 to 50 feet.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Because I really like what you're saying, like your plan. Just kind of like a random side note while you're saying it kind of like came to me, you know what I mean? What if we did like an eShop? But I like the idea too, you know what I mean? Like in between or something. I mean, of course, you know, we're not going to get past there without being noticed, but you know,
I mean, you're going to have to be close enough you can hear what comes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger your speaker, the louder you can make it, the better you're going to hear it. So mine is just because I have to carry it with me in all kinds of places, but I can tap that thing. I've got a Bluetooth speaker in my house that's like the size of a Hope chest. And I can tap that thing into that Hope chest and still run that app. So the app doesn't matter. The tablet doesn't matter. Anything that is Bluetooth, I can connect into it. As long as I can search what's there and have them sync together, I can tap into anything. As long as it picks up a connection. So the bigger the speaker, the better sound you're going to get.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Like I said before, I'm glad that y'all got a chance to come on tonight, and I appreciate everything y'all have done. I enjoyed this weekend investigating both nights, Friday and Saturday. Like I said, the next time we come out to the bridge, we'll get some lawn chairs and we'll sit there for about an hour and just do nothing but just talk amongst ourselves, ask questions, and see what we can get come out of the box. You know.
So here's your assignments. Everybody just start writing down some questions that you want to ask and have a list of questions that you want to go through. So John, you write down your questions. Joseph, you write down some questions just so that we have a game plan. And then when we get out there, that way we've got our questions we want to ask them. And we're going to see if we can't get some better answers. Because there's answers that we don't know that I know they're wanting to tell us.
Yeah.
But I think we're just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, we'll just have to sit there for at least a good hour, take some lawn chairs, and just sit there and do nothing but just listen and ask questions.
Exactly.
That's the only way I know to get answers from the bridge, because the bridge down there will tell us a lot about what's going on.
Yeah. Because they're watching, they're just not talking.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. If they're not talking, we got to find a way to make them talk, to get them to talk to us, to trust us enough to talk to us.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I appreciate it. I thank y'all a lot. And
thank you very much.
Y'all have a good night, and thank y'all for coming on. And I had a good time hanging out with y'all this past couple of days, and
we had a great time.
Next time y'all be here be November the 19th for the clinic.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember, and for all of you at home, last one that we recorded, when is that going to hit Facebook and YouTube?
One we did last night is done on Facebook, and Friday night is done on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. So, cool. So it's already on Facebook, huh? Excellent. Excellent. Is it going to be on YouTube anytime soon?
Probably not YouTube, because I can't download it from Facebook to YouTube and won't let me do it.
Okay, cool.
But it is on Facebook. It was on Facebook as we started last night. So
yeah, because we watched it afterwards. we were checking out the obvious box information, trying to make sure if that was accurate and how that played into the investigation. So
but you saw what I was talking about. How you use the obvious box, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just make sure you understand the same thing I was doing. But I just don't know if you got to have a cord to keep it plugged up, or can it be charged so long then you can take it off the cord?
I'm pretty sure you better use the cord for strangulation. That's the only thing I can say. Use the cord for strangulation.
Okay.
If you tie the cord tight enough, I'm pretty sure that the obvious box would work better.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. All
Joseph's
right.
Sounds
like, I don't
spooky.
want to know. Joseph's like, I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's
You're
a bad
using
idea. I'm just hoping
you
it's
are
going to be a
using
good
the
time.
obvious box the next time we go out
Yeah,
investigating.
he's going to take care of the obvious box.
Oh, hell no, I ain't. You going to take care of that obvious box. I ain't getting near it. It already sounds dangerous.
Very dangerous.
All right, y'all. Let's get
It
on out of here.
malfunctions. You're going down.
I blow mechanical shit up that's not supposed to blow up, okay? I'm born under the wrong star. We'll all blow up if I touch it. You don't want me near it, I promise.
If you touch it or not. If it goes down, you're toast.
And I can only
All right, everybody.
Okay, y'all have a good night. I gotta go feed the kids. It's 11 o'clock. I gotta go wash off the mud. I'm done for tonight.
Don't forget about them greens.
I know. I've probably got, I've still probably got watercress in places I don't want to know about. I'm going to go take a shower and I'm going to bed and forget half of my journey happened. Y'all have a good night.
You too. You have a good night too.
Thanks to Vicky. She's right. I do need to carry a purse and an extra set of clothes. Thank God. I love all of our people on our comments. They are so great.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
But
Definitely.
thank y'all. I'm going to get off here and go because I got 2 kids now looking at me wanting food.
Yeah.
So y'all have a good night and we'll talk later.
All right. See ya.
Everyone have a good night.
Bye.
See ya. Well, everybody.
Are we off?
No, not yet. I'm getting ready to.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Everybody, I'm glad everybody got to come in and check us out tonight. I'm going to play the Global Ghost Hunt again, the video, to remind people about it. And I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, and I will talk to y'all later, and I'll see y'all in a little while.